It's an India-UK forum, and as you probably know, the India-UK forum has got a website called www.indiaukforum.com. Your point about governance is very important, but before that I must tell you this, that this is not for-profit organization. I said vast majority of organizations that I'm aware of are for-profit, but not this one. We have started with a humble beginning, and we want to develop. We want to develop fast, but we are in the hands of our members, and our members can be from UK or they can be from India. Because they can be from India, there is no fee, and they can become members, and actually they can help spread the message, and they can also tell us the needs, what are the needs, so that we can do it. In UK, the UK citizens can become members, and there's a small nominal fee of £20 per year, which is not a lot, but what they can do is, they can, by becoming members, either they can give their services or they can help the cause. The governance really matters, because actually you can raise the standards, and you can keep on raising the standards, and that you can do by making the people happy and introducing an element of excellence. If people are happy, they can give excellent care. Why is governance important for anyone? That's the reason. But why is it important for us? Well, we think that governance is one of the things that we can do. We can actually share our experience of governance with India. In UK, the governance or the clinical governance has been talked about for the last so many years, and we have built up a wealth of knowledge and wealth of experience over a period of time by doing it. To achieve clinical excellence, there are some fundamental principles that you need to know, and those principles are very well known to us, but we want to share that, and we want to share what is good practice within the realm of governance with India, so that here people are happy in doing what they're doing, and yet they can deliver excellent care and with higher quality of standards. I am aware that there is an ambulance care which is being developed with the help of some other European countries, but they have talked to a UK firm to deliver that service in India. I'm also aware that there are other hospitals which are very high in standard, and I have to say this, some hospitals in India are absolutely superb. They are giving first-rate service which is available for whole of the world. So there's a bit of health tourism which goes on, and whilst the health tourism doesn't apply so much to UK, but there is some element of health tourism even applicable to UK, because people can't wait for that long, and they sometimes come and have operations in Bombay or wherever else. But how has it helped? It has helped because those people who are really interested in giving service, and they want to establish companies or links, they've done it. But the things which are happening at the moment and are about to come are phenomenally more, because they see this India as a vast market of over so many crores of population. Wherever I go in world for holiday, wherever I go, I see lots of people getting interested, because they would talk to me about India, not so much about UK, but India. And I'm very happy to talk about India as well, although I don't know so much about India. But they are very happy to talk about the health tourism, because really they want to make a difference in their lives. For example, hip operations, heart operations, things of that nature, the cold or what is called the planned surgery. They can have the planned surgery here, and they can have the treatment here, which is a lot less expensive, but easily available, very high standard. But what we really want is, and what should happen for the country is, that high standard of care should be filtering down from the top hospitals onto the next layer of hospitals, and then at district level, and then at town level, and then it should reach villages.